What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, up, up. Hey, Angel 101. You know, I noticed the other day, you always comment on the lives, and I never acknowledge you, and I am very sorry for that. And thank you for always coming back and writing stuff. You literally are an angel. I felt so bad. You were writing the other day, and I'm like, fuck, Whitney, pay attention. I'm sorry. And then you just keep coming back, and I'm like, oh, thank God. She knows I appreciate her. I don't know if you're a girl or a boy, but thanks for always coming back, buddy. And yes, I'm eating a brownie, but not a pot brownie, just a regular brownie. I have had a heck of a day. Oh my God, I've been up since 5 a.m. Woo! Just running off that fucking adrenaline. All right. Hope you're having a good day, buddy. You know it. All right, here we go. So excited to be home. All right, here we go. Okay. It's not really starting off that good. Okay. Okay, so we have you and somebody else on the table here. And wow, okay, we have the bully card is here. Okay, and when I looked at bully, I suddenly saw bitch. And I was like, well, that would be a bully. Okay, so it's obviously feminine, okay, but not necessarily. Okay, now, the first card down was sickness. Oh, good God. Okay, the first card down was sickness. And the second cards were bully and assumption. And then it gets better. There's money involved with your basic, you know, kind of natural instincts and Mother Nature's wrath. Okay. Now, we have the lighthouse, we have monster, and we have corpse. So, what I'm kind of assuming Spirit is wanting to talk about is the fact that you are being guided to safety. It's like the Coast Guard has found you and you've been drifting at seas for like thousands and thousands of days, okay? Because of this bully who just assumed something like they could just take your money, okay? I don't know if with Dead Man Walking, with death, funeral, mort, gravestone, maybe they took somebody's dead money away from you. Like maybe they got the money from, but see, that's what I don't understand. If it's written in the will, how can people can't fuck with a will? So if there wasn't a will, you got fucked, okay? Because they assumed your family members would do the right thing, cut you in, give you an out, you know, but they didn't. They made a very, the dying person made the assumption. Okay, there's another person. Oh my God. And then the monster is the sick bully. Oh my God. Okay, and then Mother Nature's here with the Coast Guard, so like that's another person. And then there's the money and you. Okay, so basically you got the money in the middle of this whole fucking thing now. This just totally changed the game. Okay, so you have been like out to drift or some shit. Okay, in really bad weather. Like somebody was just hoping to just wipe you out, okay? And this obviously, okay, so I think this money was designed to kind of save you, but because you use your natural instincts, you did not let your bank account go dry, hence no need for safety, really, or no need for, what do you call that? Rescue. Okay, no need for rescue because you didn't actually go down. You could have went down. You were starting to go down, but Mother Nature is not going to play you like that. I mean, you could have been homeless, poor, paycheck to paycheck. Okay, so something... Okay, if you were homeless at one point in your life, that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, you assumed that your family would have done the right thing and they didn't, and you got fucked. Okay, and you being homeless had to prove and play something out that your family is not who they say that they are. I don't care if there's hugs and kisses and the best Christmas possible and all this money. Money doesn't mean a thing. I just heard Mace. Money didn't. Okay. Money doesn't mean a thing. And the biggest Christmases does not mean that your family loved you the most because you had giant Christmas presents under the tree and they brought you on cruises and trips. They could have been vile, alcoholic, abusive fucking people, okay? And the second you go against them, right, or the second you say, hey, by the way, like, did you do something, question something that they did, they're just going to drop you, okay? So... it was either this was a direct link to you or it was like your parents, right? Grandparents, and they were supposed to, your parents were supposed to cut you in on something and they didn't. Okay, they kept you out of it. And your grandparents wouldn't know because they're dead. And like you wouldn't really get money unless both of them were dead. You're not going to get money if one grandparent dies. You'll get money if both the grandparents die. Okay, so money is definitely playing a giant factor here. Oh my God, the Blair Witch. Well, there it is. Sickness and witchiness. There's lawless, of course, and plain. So they make the rules. That's what they make the rules. And if you don't like it, fuck you. It's like fucking pussy. Oh, you got somebody that's a fucking little pussy. Didn't stand up to somebody. Oh, that's so sad. You know, when you see people that are so angry at somebody for doing something, but they'll only say it like behind the person's back, and they're so angry, like, I'm so angry, I'm gonna say something, and then the person shows up and everybody shuts their mouth, and it's like, I thought you all were so mad and so angry, and you were gonna do something, blah, blah, blah. Bluff called. They haven't gotten shit. It's a bluff. Well, I mean, for some they might have, but for others, nope, they didn't get it. Or they did get it, okay, and they're assuming you're just going to be cool with it. Oh, yeah, sure, just take my inheritance. No big deal. Like, are you fucking crazy? Oh, my God. I worked with this guy once back in the day, and his sister... super well off. her husband like owned a gym, okay, like a gym, like a I don't know, a big time gym, like a chain, thank you. Okay. They were balling, fucking SUVs, all this shit. Okay, the guy that I worked with lived in an apartment, had no money, fucking broke as fuck, okay? So the dad dies, and I don't know how he ended up with the money, but somehow he ended up, it was 10 grand, okay? 10 grand is a lot to some people, okay? And he was supposed to give his sister 5 grand, okay? And like split it. Obviously, that's all their dad was worth, I guess. I don't know. And he didn't give it to her. He spent it or put it away or some shit. And she was like gonna get a lawyer and like sue him and shit. He's in an apartment that he can only afford $700 a month. Motherfucker is broke. This bitch lives in a mansion, and she's like, I served her because obviously, like, you know, they must have like coming into the restaurant or some shit. So I ended up serving her. And she was like talking shit about her brother right there. My brother thinks that I don't deserve this money. Well, she's like flossing her like platinum rings and shit. And I'm like, okay, I banged her brother. I know exactly where he lives. I knew him for like 10 years, okay? We were actually quite good friends for a while. And I just wanted to smack her. Obviously, I didn't. She tipped very well. Actually, no, she didn't. She was cheap as fuck. She tipped me like 5%. And like when she handed it to me, it was like, here you go. Like she was doing me a favor. And I'm like, okay, the crackhead behind you just tip more. All right, so you need to check yourself, bitch. Let me tell you, doesn't matter how much money fucking people have. They are petty. Oh my God, that word is going to come up again. This word won't stop coming out. Petty, 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 petty. People must just be making the pettiest moves on your shit. Like the last $500 to somebody and somebody wants to take it. It's just like, really? If I fucking up $1 on the ground, you're going to come and take it. Trust me. I know. There was this guy, one of my buddies was walking home from the bar one night, and there's this fucking crackhead trying to get him money for a blowjob. Starts off $10 for her blowjob. And he's like, it's not worth it. And she's like, all right, $5. And he's like, it's not worth it. And she's like, $2. Finally, he just gave her a toonie and walked away. This is that, okay? This is that. Like, okay, really, honestly, bitch, just take the toonie. I don't want it. I don't want it. It's not worth it. I don't know what's in your mouth. Okay, like petty shit, torture. Oh my God, this person just does not like you. Oh my God, now they want to torture you. Yeah. They think they're original. Like, as I say, yeah, they want to torture you. Look it. Yes. Okay, they just want to fuck. Oh, there's the devil. Obviously, it's always in the hands of something. Can't just be original and just be because they're awful people. No, no, no. They have to be demonic people, obviously. Just breaking the laws, going on trips and plane rides around the world, spending your money. Oh, Mother Nature is pissed, okay? I don't know what they're doing, but the last I spoke to my father, he was taking his wife for a trip, and they were going to Alaska, and she was like, every time they take a trip, she gets home and says the same thing. Well, that was different. Well, that wasn't what we thought, was it? Ha, ha, ha. And I'm thinking, she begged my father to take her overseas. She wanted to go to Italy and all this. Oh. Okay, tell me how my father just sat there, he said, the entire time and drank the best coffee in the world, because it really is. Best coffee, drank the best beer while his wife walked around and shopped. And he said he just sat around. And I was like, that's all she wanted to do. She just wanted to go to these fucking fancy little countries and fucking buy her $400 tops just to come home to her bank job where she can show it off and say that, oh, I went to Italy. I went to Paris. like on your CIBC and GM pensions. Like, give me a fucking break. You're broke and you know it. Okay. But make sure that everybody sees your pictures and that you're like, oh my God, the hottest couple in the world. When my father even admitted it, she fucking bitches and complains the entire time, but needs to go on a trip though, or it's like World War III. Okay, she has to have her trip. She has to go away. She has to go abroad, or she'll just throw a temper tantrum like a 3-year-old. And because my father didn't nip it in the butt when they started dating, she still does it, even though they're retired and can't afford it. And she has to live this extensive life as if she's Marilyn Monroe and her husband is Frank. It's pathetic. And it's like, you look at it and you want to laugh. Her sister has more money than her and somehow looks poorer than she does, because Cindy has to make life look such a way. And like, you walk into that house, bitch, you want to fucking walk out pretty quickly. Okay, she comes off as best part. Oh my God, I'll get you whatever you need. Blah, blah, blah. But the second you question her, the second you get her to repeat herself, the second you catch her in something, you better get the fuck out of the house, because now she's going to throw a temper tantrum that involves throwing things, slamming doors, yelling at my father and telling him that he's the one that invited everybody and she didn't even want anybody there, and blah, blah, blah. Or she just gets wasted and acts like she likes everybody and she doesn't. She just talks shit. And my father even admitted how much his wife talks shit. He's like, honestly, you should hear what Cindy says about people. He just sits there and nods. Like, if you knew my dad, honestly, I'm pretty sure my dad is gay, for one, okay? Because he just has way too much fun with guys all the time, and he just wants to get naked and hang around with guys all the time. I'm pretty sure he's gay, which is totally fine. I just wish he would admit it, okay? And stop banging a witch who wants to kill his daughters. But anyways, right? Beaver first. That's the way that she runs things. And I just always wonder how that Cinderella story is really going to end up for them. Because I really haven't seen them for like 10 years. I haven't been in the house with them for 10 years. I haven't had a meal with the two of them for fucking probably over 10 years. I have no idea what they're like now. And if they're anything even slightly worse than what they were 20 years ago, I didn't even want to be there 20 years ago. There's no fucking way as an adult I'd be anywhere near them again. Okay, some people are so inflicted by the devil. Okay, and they're monsters. They're monsters. They're monsters that they're just in disguise. Okay, they look pretty. Wow, get over it. Okay, they got nice tits. Wow, get over it. Okay, they're a smoking hot dude. Get over it. Okay, but pussy pot pies want to fucking lust over things because of how good looking they are. Okay, that's not love. Okay, that has nothing to do with it. All right, it's sickness. It's a disease. They stay together probably for the money, really. Okay, let's be honest, because so many people that I talk to, especially people that I went to high school with that by their 30s and shit, I was like, oh, are you going to get a divorce? They're like, no, you know how much a divorce costs? Yeah, right, I'll just live with the asshole forever. And I'm like, why would you want to do that? Like, okay, so now you're going to yell in front of your kids all the time. You're going to create a toxic environment. You're going to talk shit about them all the time. Like, why would you do that to your kids? Fine, go fuck up your life. That's fine. But don't fuck your kids up. You know, like, why? Like, why? Why? Why fuck with your kids? Let's fucking leave them out of it. Right? But no. Somebody involved you in something that was not necessary. Okay, they just wanted to be a bully. They want to be a little troublemaker, a little fucking player hater. Okay, down with some sickness. Honestly, it's like we just play the same fucking record every time, but like the song is different. Because they're all doing different things. It's not like I can say like they're all doing the exact same thing. You better watch out. They're all going to manipulate money in some way. There's prophecy right there. So for a lot of you, it's almost like if you had the hankering that maybe something didn't get to you. Maybe, mom and dad were a little fucking greasier than you thought. This is what that's about. Okay, yes, mom and dad were a little greasier than you thought. There's the roof. They were under your roof. Okay, these are people that you lived with. Okay, you shared time with, you spent time with, all right? They fucked you over with money. Right behind your back. And look at horrible choice. They made an awful choice to cross you. Like for a little bit of money. That's what I heard. A little bit of money. The end of Fargo. This is what you did for fucking, because he thinks he's only getting 40 grand. All right. And then actually the original deal was 20 grand and a brand new car. Okay. So really, like, people will fight to that dirty penny because they did something for it. Right. And you gotta pay the piper. Okay. You can't ask him to do a bunch of jobs for you and then just go, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not going to pay you. Don't tell him that. There's Lover. Knight of Cups in reverse. Like, did they want to date you? I almost kind of feel like, you know, if they were taking money from you, it's like, did they take the money from you so then you look a certain way, you know, like, because what if this, like, money, for some reason, people think money is status, obviously, right? Money is status. If you don't have it, you fucking suck and nobody likes you. Like, it's so cliche, it's not even funny. But it kind of seems like, what if you were supposed to date somebody and because you didn't get this inheritance like you were supposed to, you're not living in the house that you could be, and now somebody won't date you that was really supposed to because now they're going to judge where you're at. Right? Like, I mean, if you got kind of fucked over like I did and live in a crack home, then, you know, I don't know how many people have judged me because the way where I live. Like, why? And at the same time, I think if anybody judged me for where I lived, okay, without actually realizing why I'm here and that it's not really by choice, it was, you know, I would. Do you think I would want to talk to them? You think I'd want them anywhere near me? Get the fuck away from me. You made way too many assumptions. I don't want to be your friend because that means you make assumptions with everybody. And trust me, I'm not the one that you make assumptions on. You have no idea what I've been through and no idea that I shouldn't even fucking be here. And I honestly, that's the thing is, like, you know, you judge a book by its cover and shame on you because even you know the things that you suffered through and the things that you went through and why you're the way that you are. So if you went through the things that you threw, and like, imagine what other people went through. I'm not down like gaslighting anyway, but I'm just saying it's a good way to look at it, to think like if you were beat by your parents or you were fucking left behind or like you were, you know, okay, abused or unsheltered or something like that, then like like, do you think you would possibly ever judge somebody on that, whether or not it is their mistake or not their mistake, right? Like if you know, it just, whether or not you want to be a little judgy McGee, because if you want to be judgy, I can tell you this, it's really going to suck because the people that you think are so-called safe or to be trusted because they have money, they have status, are usually the biggest monsters. So, again, I don't know. Is it a reading for us or for the cross watchers? Right? I don't know. But I know somebody fucked around. And that's all you need to know. Because it was one of these lifetimes, and like, you may never see this money, you might never hear from it. All right? It might never be addressed to you, but you are a part of it. There's the mist. It's just hiding. And that's the thing, is we don't know if it's ours or if it was here, but we will find out. And when you find out, you'll be like, oh, well, look at that. I played it all out just like I was supposed to. Damn right you did. Nails on a chalkboard. You know, that's one thing that never really bothered me. Nails on a chalkboard. I don't know. I have very big inner ears. what's that from? Oh, The Office. Yeah. My doctor says I have very big inner ears. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to begin the next reading here. Take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If it doesn't resonate, do not worry. That one was a little bit longer than usual, 26:10. They don't use, actually, I can't say that. They're going fucking hours if I'd let them. Oh, Spirit. Hope everyone's having a fabulous Friday. It's Friday out there, people. And yes, I do readings, Andrea. Description box below will tell you everything. Personal readings are one of my favorite things about this whole channel. Sometimes it's a reading, and sometimes it's a therapy session, and sometimes it's for collective just to rant, and sometimes it's the best reading they ever got in their life. It's always good, but it's just what everybody gets out of it is very different. Oh my God, there was a lady that booked with me today, and she was so excited because 2 other psychics have turned her down. Oh my God, she was so excited to talk to me today. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? I love it. My first psychic reading, oh my God, she was so amazing. I went to New Orleans for a little while, and I should have got a reading down there, and I didn't. I don't think I got a single reading in the States, not even in Mount Shasta. Did I get a reading in Shasta? No, I think I got a reading in Shasta. Oh, Vegas. There was a reading in Vegas. That's right. 2 readings in Vegas. And I should have fucking did New Orleans. I knew I should have. All right, here we go. Next one. Take what resonates. Here we go. Dance, dance. Dance till you drop. All right. Psycho. Gremlins. Okay. Bride of Frankenstein. Okay, so I feel like fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre comes out. Honestly, I feel like it's come out every single reading. There's the Blair Witch again. Really? Twice? Miss Blair? Twice? Okay, when she showed up the first time, I feel like whoever fucked with you, and that's the thing, whoever fucked with you, whoever did something to you money-wise, they're getting haunted. Haunted. Like, I'm talking, they shut the light off and run up the stairs. They're terrified. I don't know what they did to you, and I don't know who you are, but I got that message, and Miss Blair wants to say that right now because she was the shit out of people. And now she's back again with the Texas Chainsaw Meat Cleaver family. Okay, like, what a doozy. Fucking pair and a half right there. And then the Bride of Frankenstein? Okay. This is not really looking good, people. Okay, it's not as bad as we think. Okay, so that's the thing. Horror cards, you always think like the worst. Sometimes it really isn't. Okay, so the analogy that I'm getting is somebody likes you, which is hence the love. Oh, they be loving you. Maybe they think that you're like made for them or something. Or maybe, and this is just the analogy, okay? You might stumble across something, okay? Could be a pet. You know, pets find you, okay? Could be a person, place, or thing. All right, something's gonna get attracted to you, or it's gonna find you, and it's gonna feel like it was made for you. You're gonna be like, "Oh my God!" You know those cars that you get, and you're like, "This was made for me." Or, "Oh man, I just got this black shawl right here." It was made for me. Okay, the gods put it down here because they knew I was gonna like it. Okay, it's like stuff like that. So that's why it doesn't have to be like above and beyond. Okay, like we do tend to say it sometimes. Okay, so Something is going to find you, and it's so attracted to you that it becomes part of your life. But the thing is when they ask you out, okay, or when you ask this person out, because like, I don't know if it's like you're going to feel that way with them, or I don't know if it's vice versa. Somebody's going to ask somebody out, okay, or, you know, the date, okay, the meet cute happens or whatever. I honestly feel like it scared the shit out of somebody. Like, I don't know if right at first they thought, okay, maybe you're saying things and doing things to make it seem like you're perfect for them, but really you couldn't be more off. Because some people do that. They'll just, that's a lot of like, now I'm getting like deadly dates and online dating and stuff. You realize that when it's the most fucked up situation, it's always, well, they like the same things that I did, and they like this that I did. And it's like, they were always saying things first, though, and then the other person was just agreeing with them, okay? Hence making it look like they have a lot in common, but really they don't. Okay, so that's what this person is maybe thinking, or maybe you're going to think that, like, okay, do I actually really love this thing, or am I just imagining, or is it just too much, or is it like something that I'm just feeding into too much? Okay, the thing is that I think the time that they have been scared, I think, is already come and gone. You might not even have known. Okay, especially if this is online dating, somebody might have taken like a pause from you, stopped talking to you or something like that, but really, you didn't really talk much anyway. So it's like, oh, you stopped talking to me in this time and then started talking to me again, and I didn't even realize. Okay, it's something like that. Like, I think it's possible that they've already changed and come back from it. I mean, they're definitely not temperance energy, that's for sure. They're a little like hot and cold, but it kind of seems like they're just letting something frighten them. Like, you know, when people do that, you just like your paranoia sets in, and then it's more like, okay, is this really going on, or is this just in your head? Right? Because that's the thing, is maybe it's in somebody's head. Or like you start liking something, doing something, and then you're like, well, I can't like something that much. Don't try not to like stop yourself from liking something. Make sure you temperance yourself and you calm yourself, okay, so then you don't like squeeze the puppy to death, okay, because you just want to hug it so bad, right? Temperancing ourselves, know that whatever this is, whatever this love is, something is meant to come into your life, and it's going to stay there for a while, which means, why would you sleep with it on the first date? Why would you try to cuddle it to death? Right? Because if you have the rest of your life with it, you can give all of that energy that you feel a little bit over time, each and every day, which is kind of weird to break love down like that, but I guess that's what Spirit wants to say today. Okay. So it's kind of like, it might be, I don't know, because you might have like, you know, other people in your head. Okay. Other people that if you don't message them back right away, they freak out. Okay, there could be some displacement from previous relationships, and you might have dated back-to-back people that were very similar. Okay, but that was to teach you a lesson, all right, and not so much, you know, them. Okay, dating the same type of person is usually something to do with you. Okay, they don't really know what's going on. Okay, so it might, you know, once you start to really like tap into yourself, then you might realize like, okay, actually, it's like spread the butter out, spread that love out. Okay. You just spread it out. It's not like bang, bang, bang. And then, okay, maybe that's what it is. Love bombing. Maybe somebody's used to love bombing and they just bomb, bomb, bomb. And then nobody does anything. And then they're like, wow, they must not like me. Well, no, they just got bombed by you. Okay. They gotta like, you gotta wait for the dust to settle for a second. Okay. Something just went off. Okay. So it could be something like that. I don't know. Maybe you said something nice to somebody and they were like, whoa, calm down. And then you didn't say anything for a while and they were like, okay, maybe I overreacted. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe somebody went on your dating profile and they wrote a couple comments on a couple of pictures like back to back, and you were like, whoa, calm down, lady. And then they just didn't say anything after that, and you were like, okay, yeah, I definitely overreacted. Like, I thought they were, going to comment 500 times, but really it was just back to back, and then they went quiet. It's obvious that somebody's definitely like, I think maybe they're trying to find that equilibrium between giving and receiving. Because if you're going to give the compliments, you got to receive the compliments. And you can't just be taking compliments all the time, like easy ego. You got to be, hey, good job. Oh, hey, you did a great job. Awesome work. But, you have to give it back. You got to humble yourself in some way. Okay. You're not the king of England. Okay. Humble thyself. And I think somebody's really going to calm the fuck down because they have to chill the fuck out. They're riding this wave all by themselves. And maybe all you did was just wave to them. Man, you threw somebody off, okay? You threw somebody off. But it's like, whatever. Shit happens. I don't know. Maybe that was always supposed to happen. Maybe if you threw them off with something, you did something that nobody else has done before, okay? Which means that you left them, like, stupefied. You left them, like, dumbfounded, like, no one's ever fucking done that before. What the fuck? So it's definitely shocking. Like, there's a reason why Psycho's here. Like, there is a little bit of, like, the plot thickens because you just don't know the other side of this. You only know your side, and you only know the side they're showing you, which obviously, I don't know, really isn't much because you scared the shit out of them right away. But now they're like, okay, those, again, it's like a very shy dog or something, you got to throw food out and stuff. You just got to stop paying attention and then it'll come back around again, right? It's like you have to stop paying attention to something so then it could realize, okay, so I'm not like at your beck and call the only thing, because that's another thing is if you're dealing with somebody that's never really had love, all right, or anybody to care for them, especially like if it's like a puppy you found on the side of the road, ain't nobody love that thing, okay? That straight just like love is a lot, right? You have to inch them, okay? They have to gain your trust, all that shit, okay? So like you scared the puppy off, okay? And then I heard, and then he came back a man. Okay, then he came back a man, okay? He came back a little bit more beefed up than what he was before. I don't know if this is a guy. This is just what I'm hearing. I have no idea, okay? And now it's like, okay, I overreacted. Somebody definitely got into their head about something, and, that's what happens when that happens, whatever. Over and done with, okay? Now they're about to change. It's like when Gizmo turns into the, crazy little psycho. Well, he doesn't turn into them, but he creates the little psycho ones, right? It's like creating the psycho version, and then they go back to the cute fuzzy thing. Okay, so if somebody went like cold-hearted on you or something, they're going to turn back into the fuzzy bear again. If that makes sense, okay? They're going to be like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bust out the knives and the nails and get all catty with your ass, okay? They check themselves. Okay, so maybe this was a nice little temperance. Twins! This is what I mean. They must have had some type of, I don't know, bipolar personality. Maybe they had a little Jekyll, a little Hyde going on in there, and maybe you are helping them put those two together so then they don't spiral out of control, become personalities on their own, and change this person. Like I don't know if this is like your boyfriend or something like that. I don't know, your girlfriend, or I don't know. Maybe your ex that you dated? I don't know. Oh, there's Pan's Labyrinth. Okay. There's the Boogeyman. And Jaws. See, again, with Michael, you fucking scared somebody, okay? Like, you scared Lori, all right? Or Lori got terrified, okay? Running for her life. Like, you were gonna come and kill all of her friends. Oh, with your feelings. Yeah. Right, okay. Well, maybe you went deep with somebody and they were like, whoa. Did you hear that dog bark? I wasn't expecting them to say that. I don't know. I think you just took the oxygen out of somebody's lungs and the words right out of their mouth. I don't know what you said. Maybe you were like, I see dead people. Or I talk to dead people. Oh my God, you know how many times I told people that I saw UFOs and they just stopped talking to me and walked away? And I was like, all right, see you later. Stop having drunk conversations, okay? I don't know, maybe you just said something weird and they were like, they went deep. I don't really know how to deal with that. I didn't think we were going in the deep end so quick, but maybe we are. I don't know. And then you went to the deep end and then you realized that you had Jaws on the line. Okay, that's not easy to wheel in. Oh, okay, that's not easy to wheel in. Ah. You're shooting for the stars, eh? You want a big old buckshot for your first try. It's like somebody's going hunting and they want like the biggest moose in the forest, you know? I mean, aim big, I guess. Or it's like, same analogy, but it would be somebody really big that you took the words out of their mouth. And like nobody does that. Something like that. I don't know what's considered big versus small. I don't know. Big status. I don't know. This is like you taking the words out of Nancy Grace's mouth. There it is right there. You know Nancy Grace. That bitch wants to talk about everything. And you stumped her. You stumped her. I can see her just sitting there. And you know when that happens to news reporters sometimes? Something happens and like they just don't know what to say. You stumped Nancy Grace. Is that her name? I feel like that's her name. Yeah, I feel like that's her name. Like you scared Nancy Grace. She doesn't get scared of anybody. She will verbally attack anybody. She doesn't give a fuck. It's Nancy Grace. She yells at everybody. She's not yelling. It's not Nancy. So, I don't know, collective. I don't know what you did to somebody, but it's like you brought out a whole nother personality to this person, or you made somebody realize like, dude, you got to check yourself. Like that's causing unconscious reactions. You checked somebody and you didn't even have to be there. Which is like Nancy Grace. Like, what are they watching you? Huh. It's like, how can you take the words out of their mouth if you're not even talking to them? So they ought to be watching you, which is what people would watch Nancy Grace, obviously. Huh. Wow. I just heard consider yourself lucky. I don't even know what that means, but I don't know. You got a big, I don't know. You have something big on the line. All right. I don't know. That's all I got. That's all I got to say. You got something big on the line. I don't know what line, whose line is it anyway? I don't know. but it's somebody's. Okay. All right, I'm going to do one more reading. What are we at? 45. Really? That was awesome. Thank you. Just sign after sign after sign, people. It's the most magical channel on fucking YouTube. And I'll say it proudly. Most magical channel on YouTube. Hanging in a cherry. All right, you got people talking shit behind your back. You know what? I watched a lady do that today. I watched a lady shit talk something right after she didn't get her own way. And it was nothing that anybody could do. They were like, it's just not available. And just shit talked her fucking dirty, fucking ratty little 60, I don't know, she was probably 70, late 70s, crusted makeup all over her face, walked out because she couldn't get what she wanted, which was never available, is never going to be available. It's just not the right place for her. She just expects people to move mountains, and if you don't, then it's fuck her. Fuck this place. You even go in there? Do you even shop there? Oh my God. I was like, lady. My God. Act like a lady. You are acting very manly right now, causing unconscious reactions. See, I knew it. Somebody else already caused an unconscious reaction, and now we're doing it again. Okay. Which is what collective does. Collective causes a lot of unconscious reactions, and you don't even have to be in the room, and people are consciously reacting to things you do, things you say, things you post, what you wear, how you drive, what your car looks like, how you park, how you walk, what your shoes look like. Oh my God, did you see her bag? I mean, it's so much. It's redonkulous, okay? People are just, they can't, from the looks of it, control themselves around your energy. Okay? It's like the robots malfunctioning, like they just can't, their circuit board, something happens to them around you. Okay? So somebody that's been fucking with you behind your back, okay, they're consciously reacting to what they've done to you. It actually has nothing to do with you whatsoever. This person is having reoccurring nightmares every night. They're tossing and turning. They don't sleep. Okay. They're constantly in the 9 of Swords, where they feel like everything they've said is just towering over top of them and they can't get away from it. And it's like, if they make a move, one of those knives is going to come down and get them. Okay, because of how much shit they've said. And they're just, each one of these knives is associated with an event where their actions have taken over your, moves, okay, I don't know, anything that you did, your heroism, the fact that you were great in public or something, they're removing that from people, okay? They're removing the good. They're trying to anyways. They don't want anybody remembering the good times with you. They want people remembering, well, remember when they did this, and remember they didn't show up, and they were drunk, and they embarrassed us, okay? They want people thinking that shit, okay? Very disturbing thoughts. They really, people base a lot of getting older with happy memories, Okay. And when you start to take those memories away from people and associate it with darkness, what do you think happens to people? Okay. The only good thing about getting old is the fact that you have these memories that you can look back on. Suppressing them, taking away from them, okay, and replacing them with darkness. That's like now I'm getting that movie, Rise of the Guardians, right? Removing all of those beautiful dreams away from children and replacing them with nightmares. What do you think is going to happen to those children? They are not going to be bright, beautiful kids. Kids shouldn't have anything to worry about when they're sleeping, right? When they're they shouldn't have anything to worry about in general, like, right? So the fact that anybody tries to take away something good and replace it with darkness just goes to show how demonic they really are. Because you would never remove the sun from the sky because people are enjoying it. Right? Or because somebody's enjoying it, you take it away from everybody, right? Obviously, you have somebody tripping on you, okay? And you have already been told by spirit to stay away from this person. Okay, subconsciously, you might just react to them all the time. And it's just one of those things like, I can't be around that person. Every time you are around them, something goes wrong or something goes bad or something happens. So you just don't, you're just, some people actually have morals. Okay, it doesn't matter who you are in their life. They don't like you. They're not around you. Okay, it ain't hard. Okay, so I feel like you've already been told to stay away from these people because of how toxic they are. It seems like as soon as you show up, this person gets angry instantly. And they think that by getting angry, it's going to change the circumstances and you're going to go and just appease their anger at the fact that they don't want you around. And once that entitlement doesn't get reached, well, they're going to take another hit on you again. Okay, it's just going to be constant hit. And that's why we've got no fixing this on the bottom of the deck. And Libra's there. The reason why I added Libra was because sometimes it gets to the point where the 12th house, it's just beyond personal. Okay, and Libra has to step in to say, listen, this isn't, you're not going by the book of laws. You're not trying to be a good Samaritan. You're just attacking somebody for the sake of, you don't feel good about yourself, so you're going to take other people down. And by attacking collective, it makes this person feel good about themselves. And then it makes people angry at you. And then they become the hero in the situation. Anybody that has to turn a story to make themselves look good and somebody else the villain is the villain. Okay? That's the thing. They're not telling the truth. They want to twist things so they look like the good guy. Right? And that's the thing is you always want to say, like, can I get the other person's side of this, please? Because you hear somebody's story is so fucking far-fetched. Please go talk to the other person. Right? And I'm not saying the other person is going to tell the truth because some people are delusional and they will just not tell the truth. Okay? Because nothing recorded them. Even if they do get recorded, they will still lie. Okay? They just don't know how far collective will go with it. They lie to the police. You wouldn't believe how many people just lie to cops because they think that, well, I'm a 5-star citizen. The cop's just going to believe me. I mean, let them think that. Because if you think you can put a tip into a cop and just go get somebody arrested, you're crazy. That cop, okay, for one, has to subpoena a warrant to go and even try to get somebody arrested. And the only way to get a warrant is to prove that somebody is breaking the law. You can't just call and have somebody arrested. But, obviously this person made some type of call in your life that got you hanging in a motherfucking jury. Like, honestly, it really did. It got you hanging somewhere where you didn't need to be constantly evaluated and, well, she did this and he did this and they said this. And just a bunch of malarkey. Okay, literally. Like, now I'm getting this scene in Harry Potter where I think it's the Prisoner of Azkaban, but they're in like the Harry Potter jail, like that, no, well, not jail. they're in the, you know, where the judges and everything, like their own little like court, and then the prisoner is in the middle all the time, right? I'm getting the scene where it's like you're the one, I think that is Prisoner of Azkaban, but you're the one that's sitting in that chamber, okay, with, you know, all these people around, like, you know, basically determining your future, and they won't look at you, they won't hear you, they won't listen to you, they're just talking to everybody else. And it's like, how do you do that? How, like, you want to know something, why the fuck aren't you asking the person? If they choose to lie to you, that's their prerogative. You can still do your investigation, but sometimes you're never really gonna figure out what happened if you're working with a bunch of fucking cowards that can't admit what they did. Because that's the thing, is, you know how far a simple apology can go? Okay, but then if you won't apologize for something that you've done, then what collective will end up doing is punishing themselves for not apologizing just outright for being an asshole, right? The more you apologize for what you've done, right, you won't hurt people anymore, right? You'll realize that you do cause unconscious reactions with people sometimes, and it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, right? You fix the situation. This person is not fixing anything. They're making it worse because it's beyond personal. It's reached a limit and they've gone past it. Like you'd call that overkill. They've reached a certain point and they've gone past it. And that's why it looks so suspicious, because most people would run over it, make sure it's dead, fucking drive away. Why are you reversing and then running over it again, and then reversing and running over it again? Like, clearly it's dead. Move on. But they won't. They want to keep overkilling it. So that's why it's going on behind your back. It doesn't even matter if these are your friends. Somebody is trying to ruin you. And it's all coming back around. It is all coming back around. I feel like now they think that people are talking about them, right? Now they're getting that, when you think some people are talking about you and you think, no, it's just all in my head. Maybe they actually are. Okay. Maybe they actually, possession with demonic. This is what I mean. Uranus energy. Something's going to happen quick. There's some type of very unusual kind of, I think, protection going around you now, okay? And I think that this person has kind of noticed, listen, I am really overkilling this. Like, either I get some proof quick that I can manipulate, or they're going to call it, right? It's something like that. Like, if they don't get proof soon, everything's going to get called. It's like they might have a jury in limbo. Like, oh my gosh, what is that? That was on Sons of Anarchy, where they hold Bobby for like 2 weeks longer, and the witness has split, which means the case is dropped, and they still keep him behind bars. And he says to the fucking prosecutor at the end, he goes, so I heard that you guys lost your witness like a month ago. What happened? And she goes, well, we're, accountable by the courts of law to hold you for 14 days to see if we can build a case. And if we can't, we have to let you go. So it was like right away, legality right now. All right, give me this speech about why you abused your rights and kept me here for longer than what, it's like that. Like, now they have, maybe that's what it is. Now they're going in front of a judge. And now they're going to have to answer why they kept you behind bars longer than what you were supposed to be. Woo! Oh, no wonder they're having nightmares. I would be too. If I went and fucked around with a bunch of people. Oh, they're sweating. They put calling the authorities. They're trying to call 911 on you. They tried to have you arrested. Like, this person has gone above and beyond. I mean, at this point in time, it kind of seems a little stalkerish. Look at heavy blockages on the bottom of the deck. Can't lie if I tried. kind of seems like they're fucking obsessed with you. And it comes, look at revenge. There comes a point in time where spirit has to stand up and go, like, you can't, like, this just looks revengeful now. Okay, this just looks like you're having a little too much fun with somebody's fate. Okay, and it looks a little too much like that person's innocent and you're trying to put the gun in their hand and there is no gun. Okay, it's something like that. And that's the thing. I did a video the other day about, and I'm talking about this guy, Russell Williams, that got arrested. He was really, really high up at the Navy base here in Tweed. Well, it's not Tweed. I think I don't know where it is, but anyways. And he was a fucking panty sniffer. He did 85 break-ins. He stole women's underwear and he raped 2 women and killed 2 women. And the thing is that he got busted. And I was talking about it the other day because I was driving around there and I saw where I saw one of his victims lived, and the house is up for sale now. And how much, I mean, you could tell he was fucked up. You could tell that there was a possession. You could tell that he was obsessed with doing something, like it was something that was getting him off, like obviously people are not necessarily wired really well, okay? And the things that they do come back around. Okay, and it was weird when he got brought up as one of the suspects, the cops ignored him because of his military background. Like, you can't just because somebody's got a good background, it doesn't mean that you just wipe them of all crime. Like, what the fuck? Like, clearly there was, something wrong with him, okay? And it was very disturbing. He got locked up. People get locked up for the shit that they do. That's the thing. Like, I mean, you want to fuck around and find out. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, fuck around and find out. Whoever, did this to you, it was obviously the tower moment. It was obviously in another dimension. All right. You could just, again, heavy blockages on the bottom of the deck. I totally forgot there's gluttony. Obviously, they're probably fat as fuck. And if they're not, their gluttony has them, okay? Like, through possession, they just take things and then they want more and more and more and more, okay? And this person suffers, obviously, from serious PTSD, okay? That wasn't fixed. And I mean, I'm pretty sure Russell went overseas, too. He did some shit. You could tell, I mean, people that suffer from PTSD sometimes do the most fucking fucked up shit that anybody's ever done because they don't get healed. They just move on. People aren't interested in healing. It's more like, all right, take your 10 days off and go back to work. Okay. So somebody's cracking, someone's breaking under the pressure. Okay. And everything that they said about you and everything that they did, it's losing its weight. It doesn't, it's losing its weight in credibility. They're obviously, people aren't listening to them anymore, right? Because you're not playing out anything. If you're not playing out these crazy stories that people are saying, then eventually they're going to get bored of you. Move on. Okay, so whoever this is, okay, that is making serious fucking moves behind your back to fuck with you, this is their tower moment. They're going down. The alarm got pulled. They tried to move you. They tried to change your future really quick. It didn't work. Okay? Maybe they did try to have you arrested. Maybe they did try to put you behind bars, and it didn't work. That's what I mean. You can't just call the cops and have somebody arrested. There's things that happen. There's it's not the way that it works. And sometimes people need to have that little bit of cockiness that thinks, because then they call and call and call and call and call, and then they get charged with stalking you because they keep trying to get you in trouble. It's like, how far are they going to go? And, oh yeah, that's where I was going. Russell Williams, okay, he tried to blame it, at least the one murder, on his neighbor. like an idiot. Okay, like he was just gonna be so trusted and just blame it on Larry the neighbor. Okay, and no one's gonna know. And it's like, I mean, there's lie detector tests, there's undercovers, there's, people who break the law, they constantly return to the scene, they constantly embellish it, they talk about it, they brag about it, they have treasures, they have memorabilia, they have things that attach them to what they've done, right? And this is just talking about, serial rapists or killers or something, right? This is just the analogy. Whoever this is, there's a track record of what they've done, right? There's a series of conversations that they've had that is recorded. And just because there was no recording device attached to the phone, somebody heard it. Somebody heard what they said. And there's eyes and ears and listening devices everywhere. I mean, they talked about it, okay? And Spirit found out about it. And now shit's happening. Okay, Virgo energy, shit's happening now to them, and they don't like it because they assumed that they could continue being a bully and doing things behind your back and blaming you for things, and nobody was ever going to find out because nobody was ever going to question them because of their status. Yeah, not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right. I don't know what was that? Jennifer's Body or Jennifer. There was this like Netflix thing special. It was like something Jennifer, and her own, like, the daughter killed her parents, and she literally thought, they're sloth. She really thought she was gonna get away with it. She really thought that, like, oh, they're never gonna think it's me. I was crying and yelling in the background, and I was acting my best act. No one's ever gonna know. But you just admitted that you were acting. Therefore, now everybody knows. That's a part on the shield. Actually, this part came up the other day. I was telling my sister about it because I had this vision. And there's this part of the shield where this young girl comes in with her mother and says that her boss raped her. And they're like, okay, like, obviously, like, nobody really believes her. She doesn't have any marks on her. She's dressed like a little bit of a slut. Okay. There's no marks. There's nothing. She doesn't want to have an exam done, nothing. So they pretty much put it to rest. And they're like, okay, well, unless we have physical evidence, so then she goes back and gets the condom out of the dumpster. Okay. Really, she was just sleeping with her boss. Okay. So she goes into the interrogation room and they get her mom out of there. Right. And they, kind of just do a one-on-one with her. And the guy cop that's questioning her kind of like, I think he kind of pulls his little, like, comes on to her a little bit, or he says something and he doesn't, or I don't think he comes on to her, but I think he just calls her on her bluff. He calls her on her bullshit. And then she, well, I don't care. I'm just going to tell everybody that you touched me. And then he points up at the camera and he goes, you just did. Right? Because that's how dumb people are. And she was like 14 years old. Right? 14, 40, what's the difference? Dumb people fuck up. And it's just a matter of time. You gotta let the dust settle. You gotta let the lies settle. And eventually they will forget what they said, how they said it, because it's a lie. And you don't remember a lie, you remember the truth. The truth comes through as if it was yesterday. And everybody knows that. But a lie, well, I can't really remember. It happened so long ago. No, you just need a couple seconds to remember the lie. Because if it was just like yesterday and the truth, you'd be saying it already. Okay, so they got caught. I just heard random banging, but it's not in my house. Anyways, they got caught. Okay, that's why I love this channel, because people get caught and Spirit gets so happy about it that we have to do readings, obviously, because they just got busted and now we can talk about it. Thank heavens. Okay, so always take what resonates and leave the rest. 11021. Beautiful. I am done. My day is done. Have a wonderful night. Have a good Friday. Be safe. And word to your mothers. Peace out.